You've been asking, and it's finally here again. Yes, that's right. It's time for another Southern California rental market report. In this guide for tenants and landlords, we're going to run through median rental rates for different unit sizes, and we are going to cover the year-over-year numbers going back 4 Januaries. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates. We have been helping tenants and landlords make the best data-driven decisions during these crazy days. One important note before we begin is don't forget that rental data tends to be more fragmented than for sale data, so it's a little tougher to find all the data in one spot. A lot of the research you find online, and particularly research right now that's talking about decreases in rental rates, tends to be for bigger apartment buildings. The data we're using is coming from the California Regional Multiple Listing Service, or CRMLS. And this data isn't perfect either. Not every single landlord out there currently uses the MLS to list their properties. Some will put them on Zillow or other websites online and won't use the MLS. And others will just put a sign out in front and don't even have any record of having leased the unit at all. The other important thing to remember for the data, and that's just about anywhere you're getting it, is that is only data for apartments or rental units that are empty and are being released. There is really no data source that is highly accurate that shows what the rent is for those who have been in place. So these numbers reflect the going rate for a property that is vacant. So if you're ready for the median rental rates by size in LA, Orange County, San Diego, Riverside, San Bernardino, and Ventura counties, hit that like button and let's get started. Let's dive into the Southern California rental data. We'll start with Orange County, and we're first going to be talking about the number of units that have rented, and we're running from studio to 4+ bedrooms. My head's in the way, but that says 4+. And we are comparing 4 years of data. We're comparing 4 Januaries. The reason for that is 2020 was a normal year in January, pre-COVID. And then we have 2 COVID years and essentially a post-COVID year with January 2023. So let's compare those numbers. January 2023 is in black. That theoretically should make it easier to see and see how it compares. January 2020 is kind of that orangish line. Again, more normal year. And let's see how the trend compares. Let's see if we're getting close to more normal level in the numbers of rentals. And then the next slide is going to show you the median rent for these respective unit mixes. So we're going to run through a lot of data. Let's take a look here so we can see that in Orange County, studios are not that popular. All the numbers are kind of crushed together. Our email newsletter subscribers, make sure you click the link below. You'll get these charts and you can play with the data. You can see that January 2020 data for 1 bedrooms, over 100 of those have traded. But for 2023, we're at a lower level. So the 1 bedroom unit size hasn't caught up. The other important thing to look at is you can see that 3 bedrooms are the most popular unit type that are put on the MLS for Orange County, and 2 bedrooms and 4 bedroom plus are close. The 3 bedroom and 4 bedroom plus tend to be houses. There will be a few condos mixed in there as well. Studios, 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms tend to be apartments, just so you understand how the data varies on what's on the MLS. So you can see with 2 bedrooms, we're off this year. Not as many people have moved in January. And a similar thing for 3 bedrooms. 4 bedrooms plus are closer together. Now, the reason people aren't moving as much is these are the rental rates for new apartments. That's what we're seeing here. And those are big numbers. In fact, let me show you those numbers. So rental increases. Now studios, there isn't as much data, so you can't really read into that much, and you'll see in counties coming up that it's really, there's nothing statistically significant for studios and maybe even 1 bedrooms. 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, we have enough to run median data. So you can see there's a lot of data going on here. 4 bedrooms, let's jump to that. We can see that the yellow line on top is 2023, and it's stacked down to the bottom. So we see an increase, obviously, since 2020. But what's interesting to see is we have a decrease in the 4+ bedrooms, mostly houses. The median price is off by about $200. So we are hearing of price reductions in the national news. Now that's a different data set. As discussed, it's not perfect data, but we can see it reflected in the MLS data for Orange County. Houses that have 4+ bedrooms are trading for a little bit less this year. The other important thing to look at is you can see the increase between 2021 and 2022 for houses was a dramatic increase. So things ramped up quickly. And you can see it for the other unit mixes as well, that there was a big increase between 2021 and 2022 for those rental rates. That's why that graph is a little bit longer that year. It was because it was a big increase, even for 2 bedrooms. Year over year, the biggest increase was between 2021 and 2022. It is a smaller increase between 2022 and 2023 for 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 3 bedroom, and it's a negative increase. And the numbers have gone down for 4+ bedrooms in Orange County. Moving into Los Angeles, we can see that 1 bedrooms and 4+ bedrooms houses is pretty close to in numbers that have leased in January's and going back several years, and 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms are more popular. Now, the interesting thing we're seeing here for 2 bedrooms, there was a lot of movement in January of 2021, more than there was the year before. So it was during COVID. There was an eviction moratorium on, which also affects the data, but we saw a lot of movement in Los Angeles in the 2-bedroom units. The 2023 numbers are low, similar to the 2022 numbers. Again, the eviction moratoria in LA City and LA County may be affecting that. People don't have to move if they can't pay rent. So just not as many people moving and causing these numbers to go up. Now, looking at rental rates, we can see here, unlike Orange County, we can see that every one of these unit types, there's an increase in 2023. So we don't see any numbers going backwards. And another interesting difference, so in the 4+, you can see that biggest jump was between 2020 and 2021 for that, but it slowed down since 2021 for the 4+. 3 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms, we see a big increase between 2021 and 2022. So a very similar trend where we saw the big increases between those years. Like we saw in Orange County, we see that in LA. Moving into Riverside, again, it's important to look at these and see this is a community where 3 bedrooms and 4+ are more popular. The smaller units types are not as popular. In Riverside, this tends to be a place where there's bigger homes. A lot of the homes are for lease, and we're seeing that reflected in the data. January 2020, a lot more movement than we're seeing in any of the other years. We're getting there in 2023 for some of the unit types, but we're not quite there. So definitely not back to a normal moving market for rentals in Riverside. And let's see what happened to prices. And we can see that there is an increase. 1 bedrooms took a little bit of a drop year over year from 2022 to 2023, small drop. Everything else is up. And we can see again a similar trend where that big increase was from 2021 to 2022. It has slowed down for most of these unit types going into 2023 year over year. So we're seeing the increases slow down for rental rates. And it makes sense when you have such dramatic increases. Just like in house prices, the house prices have slowed down and gone backwards slightly, the median house prices. We're seeing rent slow down as well in the Southern California counties. San Bernardino, another market like Riverside where the units tend to be bigger. So the 3 bedrooms, 4+, there's more of those that are leased. We can see 2023, the black line, the numbers are way down. Not much was going on in 2 bedrooms in 2022 and 2021. Things rallied back a little bit in 2023 for 2 bedrooms, but not as much movement has been going on in San Bernardino. So we can see an increase, 1 bedroom. We see a decrease, 2 bedroom prices drop slightly, increases in the 3 and 4+. Similar trend for 3 bedrooms and 2 bedrooms. Rates went up quickly between 2021 and 2022. It was a little slower for 4+, but then there was a big jump going into 2023 for 4+. So folks moving into houses in San Bernardino. Ventura, a market where 3 bedrooms are the most popular, and we can see that 2 bedrooms have caught up. The black line has caught up to the orange line, that means that the 2 bedrooms are moving along just like a normal market, but we can see 3 bedrooms haven't, and 4+ they're still off from those more normal numbers. And looking at Ventura's rental rates, not enough data for studios, you can ignore that. 1 bedrooms have continued to go up, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, 4+ dropped, and a $400 drop. The 2 bedrooms, like we saw, have rallied back, but those increases in the median price for 2 bedrooms have slowed significantly, and that's barely an increase year over year. 3 bedrooms, they're still increasing. 4 bedrooms have that drop, as we see. And San Diego, a market for single family sales and multifamily sales, has continued to rally and is one of the strongest markets for sales. We can see that the rental rates have not returned to the more normal January 2020 numbers, and this is a market where 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms are more popular. So it's interesting to see the number of units that rent and what's more popular in a given marketplace. The number that's closest to the 4+, the houses, again, tend to be houses. That is a number that has almost hit where we were in 2020. And let's see what's going on with rental rates. And in every category, we see an increase in the rental rate from 2020 through 2023, not seeing a drop. Now, 1 bedrooms, that has slowed significantly. 2 bedrooms, it's slowed significantly as well. And it is still going up for 3s and 4+. So you can see that comparing the market between January of 2020 and January of 2023 for the 4+, there's an increase of almost $2,000 since then, and we're back at those similar numbers of units that are being leased. So definitely a strong market for rentals in San Diego, and it looks like the smaller units may start to see a slowdown in increases, but we're not seeing a slowdown in the increase in 3 and 4+. Now that you've seen the rental data, make sure you check out this next video so you get more about the housing market in Southern California. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we want to hear from you.